Hey y'all, welcome to week 4 of our book study. I'm so proud of y'all for continuing to be on here. I love seeing all y'all's beautiful faces on here. Just something we wanted to let y'all know. I think when we made this initial post, we were trying to make this like 10 weeks. So we had given us a little gap. We're going to skip that gap and we're going to just make this a whole 8 weeks. I think there's a week that we're going to skip, which is convention week. So book study is going to end we'll skip June 23rd and book study ends the following week. So it'll be a whole full 8 weeks of meeting with y'all. So just want to clear that up. But y'all, I love these chapters, y'all, because objections, we get them all the time. Almost every single time I get some kind of objection. It is completely normal. Expect it, embrace it. It is part of the process. So people aren't usually open to things that they know nothing about. So an objection just means that they need to know more information. They don't quite know what we know yet. And so it's just our job to help them understand what we actually have. Objections are actually a good thing because, well, they open up more conversation. And so the more people talk to you, the more you ask questions, the more you get to learn what their pain points are. And so that helps us to help them see that we can help them even more. They also give our prospect a chance to ask us questions and learn what it is that we actually do compared to what they think that we do. Most people they're totally clueless. And y'all, I was one of those people that was totally clueless. I had every objection, maybe one. I didn't think about the pyramid scheme, but I had every objection before starting these products and this business. So they also help us grow as a leader, because the more we learn how to handle the objections, the more we are confident to be able to teach those to our team. So objections are actually really, really good.
Oh, is it
that's you, Abby? Cue Abby.
I'm still letting people into the waiting room here. And trying to mute people. Okay. Let me move my notes over. Guys, real life over here. Okay, so we want to be careful, you guys, with objections, not to go into convincing mode, or to get defensive. And actually, this was me quite a bit in the beginning of my business, because I am one that reacts real quick. Not necessarily to respond quick, but to automatically assume the worst instead of assuming the best in someone. And I have gotten way better at that over the last few years, but we all start somewhere. So you may instinctively react and think something like, what? Why would they think that? Or why wouldn't they want to do this? Or what? They're not interested? Or they definitely have the money. But you guys, instead of reacting instinctively and assuming right away, we have to be able to learn to stop, take a pause, and then from there, we can choose our response. And with practice, you guys, that can become our new instinct. Instead of reacting right away, messaging right away, assuming a thought right away, you pause, you think, and then you respond. I always tell my son this: think before you speak, or think before you act. Do you really want that to be something that comes from you? Do you really want that message to be out there? Do you really want the person to hear that from you? So go from assuming the worst to always assuming the best in people. And we just don't know someone's story. So we can be really quick to write a story in our head of why we think they think that way, or why don't they think our way, or why are they acting like that, or saying that, or asking that question. But unless we're willing to dig in and ask more questions, we won't actually truly understand their story. Okay, so my advice for you guys is do not shoot a reply back to someone right away. Take time to think before you respond. And, you can always go to your upline too. If you get something, a nasty message, or you get a question that's really good, or an objection, and you're really struggling with how to respond, or how to respond in a kind way, then you can always go to your upline. And oftentimes I would do that in the beginning of my business. I would shoot a screenshot over to April and just say, hey, how would you respond to this? And so it's never a bad idea to get a second person's opinion before you send a message or send a voice clip. And, it really is about them and their journey. And so, like I said, we have to be careful not to come to conclusions about someone. We have to really just help them come to their own conclusions. And that's going to be from asking questions. So if you guys ask anybody on my team, they'll tell you I'm the queen of questions, because I love asking questions. I think I absolutely love trying to figure out more about somebody and figuring out why are they thinking that, or why are they feeling that, so that I can better help them and help them to come to their own conclusion. So for example, let's use this example. If someone says, I've done plexus before, didn't work for me. Maybe you guys have gotten that objection before. I have. I could say something like, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't have a good experience. How long were you on the products for? So I'm automatically going into asking another question, a clarifying question. What products were you on? Was your sponsor helping you switch up your dosages? What were you wanting to see changes with in your health? So starting to ask some good questions, and they may talk with you and they may not. I've had both, but sometimes you can go ahead and help that person get started again. I've had a few people, like one gal that was like 6 years ago, she did plexus. Her sponsor's out of the picture now. And so I was able to help her get back up and running again. So always ask good questions there. Asking a good question, you guys, also helps us understand that the person just might need to hear or see something more, a different sort of tool. And then you'll be able to figure out why are they feeling that way? Why do they have the view that they have? Because we had a lot of our own views coming into this, right? And then by getting perspective and hearing other people's views, our views have changed. So we need to be able to help people do that as well. Some phrases that you guys might be able to use, and I feel like these phrases could be used anywhere, with our kids, with our spouse. When you said blank, is that what you meant, or did you mean something else? So clarifying question, right? Another one is, so what I'm hearing is blank. Is that accurate? Another one, when did you start feeling that way about this? And then one more, have you always thought that way about it? So those are the questions I love to ask. So then we have a great method called Feel, Felt, Found. And if you do not know what this method is, you better learn it, because you're going to be using it pretty much every single day of your business. So this is a phrase that you want to memorize. And it basically goes like this. I understand how you feel, Jen, because I felt the same way too. But what I found is yada, yada, yada. So you're basically relating with the person. You're coming down to their level. You're getting common ground, right? And then you're establishing a connection, but then ultimately you're showing them that you found a different way. You found a better way through your own experience, right? Through your experience. So here is an example that you could use. Someone tells you, I don't need supplements. Jen, I totally understand how you feel, because I felt the same way too. I could barely remember to take a multivitamin each day. But what I found once I got on these products was my body started to feel so much better. I had more energy with the blood sugar balance. My immunity was stronger because of the good bacteria repairing my gut from the probiotic. And I even saw inflammation leaving my body. These things happened not from my diet and exercise, but actually from these products. Do you feel like you struggle with any of these issues as well? So, and you could twist it in all sorts of ways with supplements, but there you go. Feel, felt, found, share your experience, end with a question, and see if they're open to having more conversation. So Tara Castaneda, C-A-S-T, I'm going to butcher this. I think it's A-N-A-D-A. And then Sonia Dudley, they both have videos out there on the Feel, Felt, Found method. So go ahead and dig on YouTube if you guys really want to nail down this method.
That's good. I have seen Sonia's on that. It's so good. Okay, y'all. So before we dig into these objections, I'm just curious, like, what are y'all, go ahead and drop this in the chat too, but what are some of your I guess your most common objections that you've had, or I'm curious if you have like any objections that weren't listed in these chapters. If y'all will just drop those in the chat, we would love to see those. But the first objection that she talks about is, I don't have enough time. Y'all, there are some really busy diamonds up there. So I don't ever believe that at all. First off, busy people are the people I want to work with because they're usually the hardest workers. So just like Abby said, ask clarifying questions. Every time they give you an objection, turn around and ask the question, how much time do you think it's going to take to grow this business? And I just show them the possible income that they can make and just ask them which amount would be worth their time investment. I mean, because they are really clueless of what we make. So sometimes they'll look at it and go, oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I can make some time for this when they see that graphic. And just tell them a story of how you work this business in the nooks and crannies of your day while you also work a full-time job. There are lots of different diamond docs depending on if they're a stay-at-home mom, or if they are a stay-at-home mom with 10 kids or 5 kids. It doesn't, 5 and 10, like who's counting? That's a bunch of kids. But maybe they're homeschooling. Brenda Martin has a diamond doc. Hers is fabulous. She's got 11 kids, y'all, 11 kids, and she is a homeschooling mama. So that would be definitely something that you could share. There are mamas who have special needs kids, and that is hard. Like they think that they don't have time for anything else because it takes a lot of their time to care for a child like that. So to share another diamond doc with them, that we have several diamonds that have special needs children. So it's really just taking the time to show them that people just like them have been successful. And then for me, that was a huge eye opener for me too, just seeing somebody like me who, I was scared of all kind of things and had very little belief, but just Christina taking the time to show me that, hey, this person is very similar to you and she is over here rocking this business. So definitely take the time for that.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny you said that because I actually stumbled across a few, I don't even know where I found them, some stories today. I think I was digging through the Jewel page just of women talking about how they work their business, working a full-time job, and how they fit in their Plexus business. So it's really interesting to read those. But there's one woman named Lauren Collinsworth, lots of kids, farm. I think she's in the military as well, homeschools, all the things, diamond. But she is super, really, really good at like scheduling. She has a set schedule every single day of when her kids do what, when they clean. So if you guys want more, like, how do I do this? How do I fit this in? I would definitely look her up, Lauren Collinsworth. I'll type it in the chat for you guys. But yes, she has lots, and she even has a page on cleaning and organization and scheduling. So if you guys are into that, you can check her out. So the second objection we get a lot is, I don't have the money to do this, or I can't afford it. So a question you can come back and ask is, if money weren't an issue, would you jump in with the products right now? Or if money weren't an issue, would you get started with a business right now? And then I love how she brought back your why, so that we could help you with your, and then listing the health goals they shared, or so that we can help you leave your job or pay off your debt or whatever their why is. So you're circling it back around, so they remember, oh yeah, this is why I wanted to do this in the first place. So again, feel, felt, found, right? That's a great method for this. For me, like, we didn't have a lot of wiggle room in our budget in the beginning either. So if you guys are the same way, this is a great chance for you to use a feel, felt, found and share your story, or if you need to grab someone else's story. Another, Jennifer Leith, we're listing all the names tonight. Jennifer Leith, Leath, that's a great diamond documentary or great story you can pull from. They couldn't even like pay their electricity bill. Like, that's how poor they were. They're adopting family. So that's a really good one to pull. I'm trying to remember. Fallon, our upline, I won't go to the stories, but she, was using her electricity bill or some other grocery bill to start her business. So, there's lots of those stories out there. So then what I typically share you guys is what I found is that the investment was completely worth it. You know, not only was I feeling amazing, not only am I feeling amazing, but I found that now I'm a better mom, better wife, better version of myself. And then you just cannot put a price tag on that. Did you say that already, Terry? About the price tag? Okay.
I didn't.
Feel like we're copying each other. Okay. And then another tip, you guys, is to break down the cost by day versus month. So if someone looks at the 130 or the 99 and they're like, oh my gosh, that's too much, break it down and say, actually, it's like $3 to $4 a day. And a lot of times that is cheaper, you guys, than a Starbucks drink or, you know, going through the drive-through. So sometimes that can really help. I talk about, hey, maybe you could swap out what you're already using. You know, you already get soda, you already do the energy drinks. You won't be going to the grocery store and wanting to grab that candy or those cookies every time because you won't be craving the sugar. That was me. You won't be wanting that fast food as much. You may be able to give up some of your medications. So that could already swap it out, those costs. So swapping the costs. And then I always talk about too, like pay for your health now, or you're going to pay for it later. You're going to either pay now to start your health journey, or you're probably going to have some, you know, where you're trying to backtrack in your health later on. And then if people are saying, I don't have the money to start a biz, you can send a tool. Like I said, Diamond Doc Michelle has a great Y Plexus or a Y network marketing video. I believe they're both on YouTube. Those are great for people who just need to see like, hey, you're paying $9.95 to start a business. Like this is not a brick and mortar thing where you have to pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like look and see how easy this is. So I love those videos, sharing the bonuses with them, how they can make their money back right away. This is going to pay for their product costs. So I actually love this objection when I get it, the money one. And then the last thing is just, would you be okay with your life in 5 years if it looked exactly the same? Bringing it back to their why and what they want to see the change in. And then just the fact that change requires change. This is really faith over fear. And then again, Diamond Docs to help build their belief in their value that this is going to be an investment, a good investment of their money.
Yeah, I love all that. I'll tell y'all too, I use a lot of my doctor bills because before Plexus, I was paying out the yin yang for doctor. I had thousands and thousands of doctor bills built up when I joined Plexus. And y'all, I've been to the doctor one time, twice. One was a checkup. One time I had to have a test, you know, to go back to work. But I don't go to the doctor anymore. So I share that all the time. So it saves me thousands of dollars. Another objection is they don't want to bother their friends. I felt that. So again, clarifying question, why do you think you would be bothering them? And for me, I could use the feel, felt, found a whole bunch. And I would just say, listen, I understand how you feel because I felt the very same way. And what I found was that my friends were struggling just like I was. And I said, I had the same thought at first, and I reminded myself about how many times Christina had messaged me. And I never thought one time she was bothering me. Like I remember her asking me that when I had this objection. She was like, Terry, do you think was I bothering you? I mean, she messaged me for a year, but not one time did I think she was bothering me. I was thinking, this girl's crazy if she thinks I could actually do this business, but I never thought she was bothering me. So, and here's the thing, if she had not have been persistent with me and told me over and over what she saw in me and how these products could help, I would still be struggling a whole bunch and we'd be in a lot of debt because we didn't have much debt when it comes to our house payment and stuff, but medical bills, I mean, we were living paycheck to paycheck and now we don't do that. So as their friend, just being honest here, who was I and who are y'all, who are whoever to keep them from having these products or having this opportunity? I remember when I first started sharing, it was probably about 6 months in. And man, our team, we had tons of people on our team, but my aunt reached out to me and she was like, Terry, I just got a question. And I was like, okay. And she says, I see you posting about your products all the time. And I know you got all these people on your team because I see you sharing about it. Why have you not ever messaged me about these products if they're so great? And y'all, I felt about this tall. I was like, oh, she is so right. So you never know. Like, you may be over here thinking, I'm going to bother them or I'm going to get on their nerves. They're probably over here thinking, well, gosh, she don't love me enough to make me healthy or ask me if I want to be a part of her team and grow this. So, and I mean, here's the other thing. If you don't tell them, somebody else will. Like, I really believe that everybody is, they're going to try plexus one way or another. Eventually they will all try plexus. So if you're not telling them, somebody else is going to. So tell your friends, you're not bugging them.
Oh, that story just hits me in the gut.
Oh, it's
That's
still
a
hits
good
me.
story. Everyone needs to hear that story. Okay, another objection you guys might get is, I don't know enough people. And a question you can ask back is, well, how many people do you think you need to know? And what Romy really shared, the gist of it was, it's not how many people you know, it's how many people you know and how many people they know. You know, it's like the branching out, right? If you knew 3 people and those people knew 3, it's like our comp plan, same thing. This is network marketing. And so you can network with anybody. The beauty of this being online is you can connect with somebody across the world in an instant. So you have unlimited people that you can connect with at your fingertips. And for me, when I started my plexus journey, my sister and I, we started about 2 to 3 weeks difference. And by the time I started, she had approached every single person that we had as mutual friends, which was hundreds. And so I remember sitting there a second like, oh, darn it. Like, she reached out to all of them already. Now, who am I going to reach out to? But I look at my friends list, right? And I think I probably had like 500-600 friends at that time, very low number compared to what it is now. But I just, I could either use that to defeat me and stop me, or I could use it to just motivate me to go and make more friends and connect with more friends. So if people say that, I say, oh, really? Because it says you have 700 friends on Facebook. So you can go and pull up their number, right? And then just figure out, how do they like to connect with people the most? Is it through, internet, through Facebook Messenger? Is it through text? Is it by face to face? Is it through interaction, like at work or at kids' activities? And then encourage them to go and connect with people there. And then also just Facebook groups, right? Super helpful to go and connect with other moms, wives, similar people to where you are in life. So, I mean, really, that can't be an excuse. And we're really only looking for a few gold bricks anyways, right? Of people to run alongside us. So we're not looking for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
The next one is, I'm not a salesperson. Again, I had this objection. Y'all, I'm telling you, I would love to screenshot you. Mine and Christina's year conversation, every single objection. And what I say to these people, I say, good, I'm not either. And I'm not looking for people. Well, I'm looking for people who are wanting to help people, wanting to share something they love. Like, that's what we do. So that is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people who are salesy or, just trying to earn $1. And I think of it this way, and this is how Christina shared it with me also. Y'all, I tell people about things I love all the time. I have my favorite pair of leggings, my favorite mascara, not my favorite mascara. If anybody has a favorite mascara, please share, but because I'm looking, but just, I don't know, your favorite bathing suit company, whatever, you're constantly telling people about those things, even though you're not getting paid a single dime to do it. It's no different, except we're getting paid to do it. So that is how I always present that. I don't know, Abby, do you have any other way that what do you do? I'm curious. I meant to ask you that earlier.
I liked her comeback. I'm calling it a comeback in here because she says, why do you think you need a sales background? Like, it's so true. I love that. Like,
I do too.
I don't need one and I don't have one. I think I nip it right in the bud from the beginning when people are saying salesperson. I say, no, we share. We're a shared person. Like, there's so different between sharing and selling, I think. Even though we are technically selling, like, there's no denying that, there's no getting around it. But like Terry said, like, we're already doing it naturally.
We're doing it all the time. Every day I share something that I love with somebody constantly. So it's the same thing. We just get paid very well for it.
Mhm. Yeah. All right, next objection is the timing just isn't right to start a business. And I had this one in the beginning. I remember when I got started and April got me onto a three-way call, and the woman did, you know, her whole spiel and everything. And then I was like, oh, I'm too busy. Like, I just maybe later, like I just don't have time. You know, I was a teacher at the time. I had two young kids. I was teaching piano lessons on the side. So I had all the reasons not to do it. So, but once I realized the benefits of it, then I was willing to make room for it in my schedule. So it's really like having kids, you guys. There is no perfect time. It just doesn't perfect timing doesn't exist. So I loved how she said, I know you want to blank, like put their goals in there. I know you want to resign from your job. If I could show you how to fit this business sharing into your busy day and help you get to blank, leaving your career, leaving your job, is that something you'd be open to? So I loved how she brought in the why again. So here's an exact example for you guys. Jen, I know you really want the option to leave your current job. So if I could show you how to fit sharing into your busy day and help you start bringing in a stream of income so you could leave your job for something you love, is this something you would be open to? So you're pulling on those heartstrings there. Another phrase you guys could use to continue conversation is, wow, it sounds like you have a lot going on right now. What's going on? And so that way it'll just encourage people to kind of open up that discussion and share with you what is going on. And then that might allow you to come in and use feel, felt, found, or to give them a different perspective, or just to connect more with them. And then I just put, you know, the benefits of sharing with them that, hey, we have systems in place to make this simple. You get to choose your time and how much energy you want to invest in this. And I can help you figure out how to work it around your busy day.
Oh, that's me. Okay. Y'all, the one about pyramid scheme. I think I have only got this, like when somebody says, is this a pyramid scheme? I really think I've only gotten this one time. And luckily I had already watched a little mini video on how to handle this. But I just asked them, like, what do you mean pyramid? Because before joining Plexus, I didn't even know, I didn't have a clue about what a pyramid was. So I had actually went and looked it up to see what it really was. And so I just told them. A lot of times when I did ask them, they didn't have a response. So I just said, well, that is a pyramid, is when, you know, you move money around, but there's not an actual product being sold and they're actually illegal. And so we have an amazing company, a great product. We have a great comp plan, and I have no doubt that you would be you would be very proud to be a part of what we have. And sometimes I even throw in there, like, we're backed by Morgan Stanley and we have an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau. And y'all, I don't think that would be true if we were scheming anything. And usually, well, what from everybody else is what they're saying, but they didn't really say anything else after that. So I just moved on. And I mean, from what I understand, people don't really say much about that because people don't even know what a pyramid actually is. So if they don't say anything, you just move on to the next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've gotten that one a few times before. Some people who are just very, very rigid about it, like, we do not take part in MLMs. We do not believe in that. And I have tried to help people with objections, but you guys can kind of tell when someone's just going to keep pushing your buttons. And
yeah, some people are completely closed. They do not want to.
It's not worth it trying to push people, you know, leave the door open. But then there's others, like Terry said, who are just curious and then they move on and they're fine with it. So you just have to kind of gauge it. But I love those stats there, you know, backed by Morgan Stanley, A+ rating on the BBB. Like, those are so good. Those are solid things to have that you can use in conversations with people. All right, 8 is, I don't have the right personality. Question you can ask is, what sort of personality do you think someone has to have in order to succeed at this? Actually, that's a really good one. I would love to hear what people say. But guys, the truth is we have Diamond Docs showing people of all personalities, right? every color, red, green, yellow, blue on the color personalities chart, every Enneagram number, every age, gender, introvert, extrovert. Guys, there is no mold. At one point in my business, I thought there was a mold, but there is not. Everyone brings their own strengths, their own positive traits to their own business. So in the chat, I want you guys to take a second to reflect about yourself. And I would love to hear from you guys. What's one strength that you bring personally to your business? Listening, passion, caring, good listener, knowledgeable, determination, organization, connecting, compassion, encouragement, encourager, passion, connecting. Ooh, lots of connectors on this call. And passion. This is a good group. Connecting, loving, love to serve others, encourager. Yeah, love these. And so I don't know if you guys have taken the strengths test before. I don't even know if I have it down here. But there's a Strengths Finder 2.0 book somewhere on my desk. It's a little bitty book, Strengths Finders 2.0. So if you're on here like, I don't really know what my strengths are, because that was totally me in the beginning of my business. I had no darn clue what my strengths were. I was very, very not self-aware. And so take all the tests you guys can to realize, okay, what are my strengths? Oh, there we go, Terry. Thank you for the visual. Yeah, that's a good little book because it has all the information about each strength. And then you also get a free test code with the book. You can get right off Amazon. But once you take that, then you can really read up on your strengths and then figure out how can I use these and apply these to my business, because we really want to learn to work from our strengths. That keeps us from comparison and all sorts of other things. So anyways, back to this, there is no correct personality. So what does it take to do this? Well, you have to have a willingness to learn and be coachable. You got to be willing to put in some hard work each day. You have to be willing to grow and get out of your comfort zone. And I don't know, are there any more, Terry? That's the 3 I came up with. Have integrity.
Yeah, have integrity. You said be coachable, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys, as you can see, there's not a ton of requirements. Anybody can do this. The question is, will you do this?
Right. Just as Abby was explaining that one, like just something that come to my mind about not having the right personality. So for y'all, like when you get this objection, like if you have already, this is why it's really important for you to follow other diamonds, and not just diamonds, but your sidelines, people on your team, like people who are being successful from silver on up and doing the things, like knowing like that this person over here is an introvert and she's over here doing it. Like you can start connecting people. Like when you have somebody say, listen, my friend Jennifer over here, she is a sideline of mine and she is just like you. Like tell a story about them. So it's just really good to know about people that know their personalities. And that's why I'm so excited about convention. So whoever's going, like you'll get to connect with other people and just see how different everybody is that grows this business or that builds this business. Okay. So I added this one, y'all, because this is a huge one for objection that I get all the time. Everyone else in our town is already sharing plexus. Oh, y'all, we have a small town. So that is something that always comes up. And I always say, I totally understand why you may think that. And I thought the very same thing until someone told me different. Just like Abby said before, we're not confined to one area. And that is the beauty of social media. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we actually have 4 diamonds. Sue, Sally, Jamie, and Chris Rosencrantz. They are 4 best friends. They lived in the same town. All of them are diamonds. Did it all in the same little small town. I think the town is smaller than the town that I live in. That speaks volumes, because it doesn't, just like Abby said before, it doesn't matter who you know. It's not just based off that. It's based off who this person knows and who this person this person knows. I mean, Christina was connected with me because of Brandon, and I live 30 minutes, and then we're still not that far from her, but we built an Emerald team. So I use that a lot and I get that objection so much. So yeah, and I also like to show them again, like how many Facebook friends they don't have in common with those people that are actively sharing, that are in their friend circle or whatever, because it's usually a pretty big number. Like they might have 200 friends that they share, but they got 700 friends that they don't share. So that is a big eye opener for a lot of people. And y'all, a lot of you probably have some of these same objections right now. And if you do, you have to learn how to handle your own objections so that you can be confident in helping others with theirs. So if you have any of these objections, y'all, there are videos. I mean, of course, this book should help, but if you go to Plexus Freedom Team and you type in objections, there are little 3 to 5 minute videos on so many different objections. Just watch them. Talk to your sponsor about them, because it is really hard for you to help someone else overcome an objection when you're already thinking the same thing. If you're sitting here thinking, man, I'm so busy, I can't do anything, I can't focus, like they're going to think, how are you going to explain to them how they can fit this in the nooks and crannies of their day if that is what you're already thinking? So whatever objection you have, like I used to have all the objections, and I'm telling you right now, I don't have any, because I handled all my objections. That's why I feel very confident when it comes to me handling objections with people that I'm trying to get to do this with me or join for the products, whatever. So lots of trainings, learn them, super important.
Yeah, I love that, because you said that the one that you typically struggle with, you're going to attract the same sort of people that also have the same one. So you've got to lead from the front and take care of that. And how do you know if you struggle with objections? I think about belief, right? Belief, you have to have 10 out of 10 on the scale, 100% belief. Really, we should aim for that, right? So on the products, yourself, and the network marketing, the company. And so if you find that your numbers are a little bit lower on the scale, then there's probably some sort of objection there that you need to dig through and work through. So that's kind of a good test too, as you're thinking about, where is my belief in these areas? Okay, chapter 8, she's just not that into you, or is she? So she talked first about moving people through your funnel. So if you guys imagine a funnel, right? Cooking, probably keep it in your cooking drawers, but little funnel. We reference that a lot in the business, because we call putting people in our funnel when they're open to hearing Plexus, or when we reach out to people about Plexus. And so as people are open, they make their way through the funnel. And then what we ultimately want to do is have people come out at the bottom. And that means that we got them to join, and they're joining our team. So it consistently becomes a cycle, putting people in the funnel and bringing them through. So we do not want to get a clogged funnel because that's going to cause you a lot of anxiety and anxiousness and feeling like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, and why aren't these people signing up? There's going to be a lot of feelings there, which we don't want to run our business off our feelings. But you could have people in there that aren't responding. You don't really know, are they interested? Are they not interested? I don't know. Maybe they're people that you have not followed up with. Maybe you forgot to follow up with some of these people. Maybe they're people that you did not set the next appointment with. You're not really sure. Did they watch the video? I'm not sure. These could be people that are still deciding, or people that, as we call, are on the fence. So these are all people that could be in the middle of your funnel. And what we want to do is work to get them through. So we want to push them through the funnel by, number one, following up. Number two, basically helping them work through any sort of objection they have. So why aren't they pulling the trigger? Why aren't they wanting to get started? Is it a financial thing? Is it because they want more information, detailed information on the ingredients? Is it because it's a timing thing? What is it? So we got to be continuing to follow up and being in touch with people so we can figure out, how can I help this person get through the funnel? And if they say it's not my time, no, then we can get out of the funnel, right? And then bring new people in. So one phrase that I use quite a bit with people is, hey, curious to see if Plexus is still on your radar. Is this something that's still on your radar? And then that will sometimes help me figure out if they're still interested or not. I'll use a phrase like, hey, I definitely don't want to keep filling up your inbox. If now isn't a good time to hear more about how you could feel your best this summer, did you want me to go ahead and follow up with you at a different time? And I actually was going to do one that says, do you want me to take you off my list? But I know Terry will dig into that one in a little bit. And then things that you guys can use to help people move through your funnel is inviting them to an event. So for example, before call tonight, I had a messenger chat event. And so I had a few girls, I think 2, who were very close to joining. And I was like, I'm just going to invite them to the messenger chat event, and that maybe that will be the little boost they need, more belief, see more testimonials to get them to join. So I will follow up with them later on tonight, but inviting people to an event, reminding people about the sale. You guys, the sale will be ending here in the next few days. Don't let people miss out on a free product. So this is perfect time to be following up with everybody. Again, follow up again. You could send a testimonial. Hey, Jen, I saw this story. I was thinking about you today. It really reminds me of you. Can you relate with this? So just putting another tool in front of them to help them relate with someone else who has a similar story, and so they can see the successes and hopefully build their belief and help them get started. Anything we can do, you guys, to move them towards leaving the funnel and getting started or joining. And then the next part was, don't be emotionally attached. This can be a hard one. I don't think it's specific to yellow personalities. Maybe it is. I don't know. But this is, you guys, this is a business. This is a people business. So we're dealing with a lot of emotions, right? But we have to be careful to separate the action from the results. So the reaching out from the responses. So ultimately, you guys, this is their timing, right? We don't want to get so preoccupied with people who are on the fence that we don't continue to reach out to more people. Kind of the whole counting your chickens before they hatch thing. Don't get so preoccupied in someone who says they're going to join that you missed an opportunity to help someone else join in the meantime. Also, you guys, don't allow yourself to create stories, because that will cause a lot of mind trash in your head about, well, why isn't she following up? Did I do something wrong? No, just focus on taking the action, doing the best you can. And then, you're going to learn along the way and be able to edit and tweak things as you go. But your job right now is to focus on the action that you can do, not the results or the responses that you get. And then you guys, this is a financial decision, right? This is a big deal. So just keep that in mind when you are sharing with people. I think it's easy for us to rush or be like, why aren't you joining? Don't forget the sale. But ultimately, you guys, this is their decision. We want them to take ownership of it. We don't want to be forcing people to join, because a lot of times that can end up not going well in the long run. So be patient with people, give people the tools they need, but ultimately just keep doing your IPA, keep sending new messages, keep doing the follow-ups instead of worrying or thinking about when is someone going to respond.
Yes. And y'all, don't fear losing what you don't have. They're stuck in your funnel. You don't have them yet. So don't be afraid to just be direct. Don't go and just be super pushy, but don't be afraid to ask good questions, because that's what's going to help them make a decision. Because again, you don't want them clogging up your funnel. I do not believe you can say the wrong thing to them if you are genuinely trying to help them. I know for me, when someone asks me questions, it really makes me feel like people care. I'll tell you this little quick story, but whenever I went to the first event, I was not open to the business with Brittany and Christina, but I met Brittany, and y'all, she drilled me with so many questions. I was like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm somebody because she's asking me all these questions. It really does make me feel like that they care about me. And I'm telling you, that helped me make my decision. And I left that event and joined the business, or I started working the business. So ask the questions. And if they don't join you, you really haven't lost anything, because you never actually had them to begin with. Also, I love the part where she talks about offer the takeaway or take back the offer or whatever, however you want to say it. But it's basically, you can say something like, hey, Jen, I know we've been going back and forth about Plexus this is for somebody who like, they've just been in your funnel. You think that you have just you followed up so many times and you just cannot get them to either respond. Like you have done everything. So just an example. Hey, Jen, I know we are going back and forth about Plexus for a good bit now, and I'm just curious if you're still open to learning more or seeing what Plexus can do for you. I know you were looking for better sleep. I always remind them of why they were wanting to do this to begin with. I know you were looking for better sleep and more energy, or if it's business, you can say, or a way to make an extra income. But if the timing's still off, that's totally okay, because you want to put the ball back in their court. Making it about them. I can check back with you later. If this is something you're not open to anymore, I can even take you off my follow-up list if that's what you prefer. Either way, I'm here to help. And y'all, I have done that many times, and I have never had anyone come and say, yes, please take me off your list. Usually, well, sometimes they just don't respond, but a lot of times they come back and they start chatting. Because nobody wants to be taken off of a list like that. That don't even sound right. So a lot of times it creates conversation again. Girl, I'm so sorry. I have been ignoring your messages. I've just been busy. And then you just get to start back over again. So it's a good thing to take back the offer. Christina taught me that. And I guess she got it from this book a long time ago.
Yes, I know. As I was reading through this book, I was like, oh, that's where they got this. Yep. Right. So I just copied and pasted that into the chat, you guys, because I thought Terry's wording was really good. So if you guys want to copy that and save that wording for the take back, you guys can use that. All right, we're going to wrap things up here in just a little bit. Oh, we got a little bit more. Okay, we got to move. So let's say someone's I thought we were in the last paragraph. So let's say someone is interested in the opportunity, but they aren't getting into action. Anybody have someone like that before? Or maybe it's you. Start thinking, is it a skill set? It's probably a skill set. Maybe they're not sure what to say. Maybe they're not sure how to share or even who to share with. It's our job to help them, right? Connect to resources. Go and become a student of the profession yourself so that you guys know how to help them become better and help you be able to help your team too. Maybe it's a mindset. Maybe someone said something to them. A lot of times that is the case. They tried to share with someone and then someone said, oh my gosh, you're doing network marketing. Why? Or someone said, oh, I've used Plexus before. It didn't work. You know, any little thing, if someone's excited to share, it can really bring someone down. So if someone is all ready to get into action and then they don't, it's important that you figure out what is that reason? What's going on? I know you're excited to share and now I sense there's some hesitancy. You know, what is going on? Can you tell me more about that? Probably want to get them on the phone, do a Zoom, and help them build their belief, right? Help them build their confidence, give them tools. Maybe they just need to know more about the opportunity or more about, a lot of times it's the products. They just want to know more about the products so they feel confident in sharing with others. Maybe getting them tagged in the going silver videos will be helpful, breaking it down into baby steps. Christina does this a lot. She'll say, hey, so-and-so, this is who I'm reaching out to today. Who do you want to connect with today? So she's showing her people, hey, I'm doing some work in connecting. Now tell me who you're wanting to connect with. And then give your people some homework to go and connect with people. Okay, here's an example. So, okay, you named your mom, your sister, and your best friend. We just typed up a script together. Now it's your turn. When can you sit down for 10 minutes and shoot them a message? Tonight? Okay, awesome. Will you come back and message me when you're done? I'm so excited for you. You're doing a fabulous job. So I will give that to you guys too, if you want that one. And then you guys watch their feet, because we want people to be doing what they say they're going to do. That means it's someone that is worth our time and energy to work with.
Yes. Okay. So let's say you have someone who was sharing and they stopped or they slowed down. Happens all the time. Y'all, this is why coaching is so important, because this happens. I mean, it happens very Well, it happens a lot, but it can be for several reasons. And it's our job to ask good questions to find out what is keeping them from actually taking action. And so I like to remind them what they told me this opportunity would do for their family. That's why it's really important to know your people's why. And if they I also ask, if they don't build this business, what other options do they have to make those things that they wanted happen? And I ask, if those things don't happen, how will they feel about that? So it's just basically starting over, casting vision again, and helping them dig deeper into their why. So they will push through the hard things when they get hard. And if they're ready to get back sharing, then I usually call them to action. Just like Abby said, maybe get them to listen to a podcast that I think will help with their mindset, whatever they're struggling with, or maybe a training video. And then I follow up with them. I say, when will you have time to watch this? And because that is so important. Like if they say they'll watch it this weekend, then of course I'm going to go back and ask them, hey, just wanted to see what your thoughts were about that podcast that I sent you. What did you think? Did it help? And if they listened, then you know that they're starting back to share, and you have to keep coaching and keep helping them through all the processes. And so let's say that you have somebody who has completely ghosted you. They're not communicating, like the line is just completely dead. I'm sure y'all have had those people, because I have. If they aren't responding to your messages anymore, then I usually a voice message them because I feel like they can hear my heart a whole lot more. But I'll just say, hey, my friend, I hope you are doing great. I'm not sure if you're still open to sharing Plexus. And if not, that's totally okay. I miss chatting with you and I hate to keep bothering you. But I'm starting to worry a little bit. Are you okay? Y'all, I hate when people worry about me, but I do. Like if I'm talking to somebody consistently and they just all of a sudden quit talking, I'm going to worry about them. And usually when I seem concerned, which I am, I get a response, and they're usually busy, but they do avoid the part where I was talking about sharing. And so I ask them usually, well, when do you want to get on the phone and chat? And so if they make excuses and they don't seem to want to, I just remind them of why they wanted to do this. And if and when they are ever ready to make big changes, that I'm here. And this is also a time you can ask for a referral as well. Like, listen, I know maybe this isn't a good time for you, but just know that my favorite part of this business is helping others feel their best and helping others grow this business, because the opportunity is great. If you know of anybody that you think needs this opportunity or would be fabulous, please send them my way. So, I mean, I think that's really it. Anything else, Abby, to that?
No, you're so good with your
I'm
words.
trying to close it up quicker. I don't want to miss anything.
I know. No,
I mean, the main thing is, y'all, I want people who won't change. So this is not going to be for everybody. It's just not. And it's okay if it's not. Like, everybody's not going to want to do this. Everybody doesn't want to go be a doctor. Everybody doesn't want to go be a nurse or whatever. It's okay. So just don't get emotionally attached. Just like Abby said, all the smart things.
Yeah. And one thing that someone said on my team that really resonated with me, because she's a very strong, I don't know, I keep coming back to yellow, but apparently I attract a lot of yellows. So yellow personality, but she still struggles with this sometimes, but she just really worries about what people think. She's a helper. She doesn't want to offend anybody. She wants to keep the peace. And so she's had a really hard time learning how to, Terry, she has had a really hard time reaching out to people or doing it consistently. So we're working on it. But one thing that she said to me that really helped her and helped me was, she said, it's okay if people don't want what I have, or if they say something that doesn't always make me feel the best, or they don't respond to me, because I don't need any more friends. I have all the friends I need here in this Plexus community that are supportive, that are encouraging. And it was just really good for me to hear that, because she doesn't have to go and connect with every single person out there, because there's no way we could do that, right? Not everybody's going to want this. Not everybody's going to like us. Not everybody's going to connect with us. So just staying focused on, doing the tasks, not emotionally connecting ourselves to every single person out there. So as we wrap up, you guys, how do we know if people are people? Like Terry said, they're asking questions, they're coming back to you, they're coachable, they're going and doing their homework, they're going and they're following through and doing what they say they're going to do. That's a big one. They're showing up. Are they showing up on calls? Or are you having to remind them every single week? We don't want to be dragging people. I did that in my business in the beginning where I'm, telling them, come, tell me what you're doing. And, it's like pulling teeth. Those are not people that we necessarily want to work with. It's probably not the right person or the right timing. And really ball players, right? Someone that's going to throw the ball back to us and then we go and throw it to them. There's this active going in back and forth and communication and going and doing too, right? Going and getting into action. So those are chapters 7 and 8. As Terry said, we're going to go ahead and keep flying through this book. So next week, please do read chapters 9 and 10. The fortunes and the follow-up. Yay for follow-up. And then 10 is the key to duplication. All right. So
that's what we all want is duplication. So y'all better read it.
Yes, chapters 9 and 10 next week, you guys. For homework, really, we just want you to go and end this month strong. Go and do all the following up. Go back to those people that gave you an objection. Here's your chance to help start working through it with them, right? Don't shy away from the objections. Lean in to the objections because an objection is actually a foot in the door. A no is a door closed, right? An objection is a foot in the door. So go and help them open that door more. So lean into that, practice it this week. Follow up, get people through your funnel, right? Offering them a sale, try a testimony, get them on an event, see if you can move people through your funnel to end your month strong. So that's what we really want you guys to focus on before next Thursday. All right. Well, awesome. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Bye, y'all.
Have a great night. Bye.